Hello guys, welcome to today's video. I am Summer and I'm gonna be trying out fall recipes for my micro bakery today, and I'm excited to have you guys tag along. Currently I am in love with pies, and so I want to try out a new pie recipe. And of course I'm starting with an apple pie. I'm originally from Germany, and my micro bakery is named after my grandma Johanna, and my absolute favorite pie that she made was a apple pie. So I'm trying to recreate that flavor and taste and feeling of her apple pie today. But I want to give it a very special twist because I love painting and I love art, so I want to hand paint on the crust. So for this pie, I came up with a design that is fall themed because I love fall. I cannot wait for Halloween to come around the corner. I love when the leaves are turning their color. I just like that whole weather. I used to live in Florida before I moved here, and what I missed the most was seasons and just the feeling of fall. When I bake in general for myself or for the micro bakery, I don't only care about the taste. I mean, of course it has to taste amazing, but I'm also very passionate about the look of my pies and cakes and breads. I love decorating them, making them colorful, and we have a saying in Germany which says the eye is also eating. I don't know if you have a saying like that in English too, but for me it's very important to make all my baked goods look really, really pretty. And of course, healthy. I use only organic ingredients. Most of them are non-GMO. And because I think food should be nourishing you, even maybe indulge in sweet treats. It should be good for you. It should be wholesome and healthy, because then you can eat more of it. And I like to eat pie every day. In Germany, cake, and in general, eating cake every day is a very big part of the culture. We call it Kaffee and Kuchen. And mostly everybody will eat something sweet or will eat something baked from 3:30 to 4 and drink some coffee. It's just a thing where the family comes together, or when you're living at home, it's just a daily thing that we have coffee and cake every day. And so especially for that reason, I like to make all my baked goods healthy. I still have this very distinct memory of when I watched the movie Snow White for the very first time, and Snow White just moved in with the dwarfs, and she's singing a song and she's making a pie. And that image is just burned into my memory. The way she made that pie and how it looked so beautiful, and how the dough was stretching, and how she decorated the crust. That's why when I make a pie, I feel a little bit like I am Snow White and I'm making a magical cake. My grandma would make a buttercream cake for every birthday in our family. It was a big cake. I think it was like a 3-tier cake with lots of buttercream and like a chocolate filling and I think a peach jam inside of it. But I was most excited about her apple pie that she made. It was just such a yummy and flaky crust, and the apples were like soft and had like a smoky flavor. So I'm trying to recreate that, but giving it the fall twist with a lot of pumpkin spice and cinnamon. I could literally eat anything pumpkin flavored. My husband does not like pumpkin, but I don't know. I would even use pumpkin flavored toothpaste. So I love trying anything fall related. I decided recently to start a micro bakery because I realized I am already baking every day for myself, for my friends and family, and everybody always loves my bake. So it's like, why shouldn't I make pies and bread and cookies and cake for more people? Because I love doing this, and apparently people are very excited about everything I bake. So that's why I started my micro bakery, and I really enjoy the whole process of it. I love coming up with recipes and trying them out. I love feeling the dough with my hands. It's such a pleasure to me. I love the smell of the house. I remember watching a movie years ago with Mandy Moore. I don't remember what the movie was, but I remembered one line so clearly in my head. She was having a date that day, and then she put cookies in the oven, and she didn't even want to eat that cookies. She just said it would be good if somebody comes to the house and the whole house smells like cookies. That would give people a great feeling, and that is so true. And it just got stuck in my mind, and that's how I feel about a home. If you come inside and it smells like bread, it smells like freshly baked croissants or like cookies and cake, you just feel immediately like you're home and you feel comfortable. I am also someone who loves to bake everything from scratch. I am very passionate about that. I'm just so excited that I can make everything that you find in a store at home, and I can make it with less ingredients and much healthier ingredients, and I can be in control of where my ingredients come from and what goes into my food, and it tastes, I would say, 10 times as good as store-bought items, and it's baked fresh and you made it with your hands. It's just a very exciting feeling for me. And you know, when I was younger, I had this thought in my mind that I couldn't make things that you see in the bakery. Like, for some reason I thought, oh, nobody can make this at home. This is like something so advanced, and you need crazy equipment for it, and I wouldn't be able to make it at home. But over the years, I just acquired the capability of making everything I see in a store at home. And it, of course, sometimes takes me a while to learn how to make things and bring it to such a level of quality that I would say it's even better than store-bought items. But it fills me with so much pride and joy that I can make everything I see in a store, everything I see in a bakery, myself at home. And, you know, we all know everything tastes the best when it's fresh from the oven. One of the other reasons why I started a micro bakery was that I just couldn't find any good German bread in any stores. I would always make fun of what people called the bread when they bought it from Walmart or any other store, and I would be like, that's not bread, that's toast. And we Germans are really proud of our varieties of different breads that we have and what goes into them and how we make them. And we consider bread as healthy. It was only when I came to the United States that people would say, oh, I don't eat bread, or you can't eat bread because bread is not good for you. That was absolutely new to me, because we consider bread as something very nourishing and healthy because of the way we do it and the process we're using, not only the fermentation and sourdough, but also the different grains that go into our bread. And I couldn't find that anywhere, so I kind of had to start making it for myself. A while ago, I had made a vision board, and for this vision board, I told myself, I'm not going to go for a specific goal. I'm just going to go through Pinterest, and I'm just going to put images on there that give me life and that give me joy and that move something inside of me and make me really happy. So I didn't judge as far as what kind of photos I would put on the vision board. And so it turned out that on this vision board, I ended up putting a lot of cakes, a lot of beautifully shaped cakes, and a lot of tables filled with bread and croissants in a beautiful kitchen with a woman hosting their friends, hosting people, making food from scratch, and just making huge platters of yummy, healthy, delicious, great-looking food. I didn't know at that time why I put these images on my vision board, and I just left it there and thought, well, I guess there's a reason to it, I guess it's maybe something that inspires me. Now, that's been, I think, a year and a half ago that I made this vision board, and a while before I started, or I played with the idea of starting a micro bakery in my head, I remember that vision board, and I went back to it and I saw that all these images of cake and of feeding people, hosting people, making food for them, and I realized how much I love this, how much joy it gives me if I can make something with my own hands that is yummy and filling and good for you, and I can bring people together and I can serve them with the food that I made, and they feel good and they love it, and it gives me the greatest joy if someone tastes my food, my cookies, and they say they like it. And I look back at my vision board and was like, I guess the seed was already planted back then, and now it's actually becoming a reality, and back then I didn't even know why I put it on there. I have one friend, my husband and I have a friend, who every time he tries my cookies or my bread or my cake, he says it in the same way. He'll be like, damn good, that's damn good. And it gives me so much joy. So if he tries one of my bakes and he doesn't say it, oh, I know I need to work on the recipe. I know I burnt it or I didn't make it well. That was actually a catalyst within myself for starting the micro bakery, because when we were staying with that friend, we were living together for some time, I would see him getting cookies from the grocery store. And I honestly usually wouldn't go and buy cookies from the grocery store, but I saw him buying sweets and cookies from the grocery store. And I just had this strong urge within myself to throw that all in trash. And I was like, why would you eat that? That looks so unhealthy. When he said he just wanted something sweet. He loved cookies. He loved a sweet treat. I couldn't let him eat it because he was a friend of ours and I wanted the best for him. So I made it a priority for myself to bake cookies every day and, find new recipes every day to make new types of cookies, because I just didn't want him to eat that crap, So many of the food they sell in the stores is full of preservatives. It's basically toxic. It's something we really shouldn't eat. And so because he was a friend of ours, I did not want him to put that inside of his body. And so I made cookies for him every day. And that wish to bring these yummy goods to people, that that's the same wish that's driving me to have the microbakery. Also, every time I bake, I would just feel very connected to my roots. I feel connected to my grandma and the memories of her. And I mean, when do you eat cake? You eat cake when you're celebrating, you eat cake when you're happy. Just the smell of cake is the same with the scent of coffee to me. Whenever I smell it, I feel like I am 5 years again, 5 years old again, and it's my birthday party. And my dad will call me down the stairs and be like, honey, everybody's here. You know, your friends are here. And the adults will have coffee on the table. And my grandma and my grandpa will bring all the cakes my grandma made at home for my birthday. So I think eating handmade cakes and cookies, things that are made from scratch and made with love, is just something that reminds us of celebration. It reminds us to enjoy the moment and makes us feel good. So if you can have that feeling every day in your life, how amazing is that? And if I can contribute to that, that is something that gives me a lot of joy and makes my heart happy. My grandma was an artist, and so is my mom. Actually, my mom was an artist first, and then my grandma would always make these beautiful name gift tags that she would put on all of her gifts for birthdays or Christmas, and she would paint a little angel, like different varieties of chubby little angels. She was very devotional, and so she painted all these angels and then wrote our name on the other side. And when my mom was 70, my grandma was 70, my mom told her, hey, if I can paint, you must be able to paint too, and you're making these beautiful angels, so why don't you paint paintings? And that's when my grandmother started to actually paint. And later on, in, her old age, became a very renowned artist in Germany and had exhibitions, and some of her paintings are in museums. She painted beautiful oil paintings, but it all started with the little chubby angels that she made for our gifts. And so that's why the logo of my bakery is a chubby little angel. And I'm combining those talents, that those gifts that I get from my ancestors, from my mom and my grandma, and my love for baking and my love for art and painting and making my cakes, little artworks. I love trying out new recipes. I have hundreds of recipes saved in my notes, like links to recipes I want to try, hundreds of recipes saved on my Instagram. I would say 95% of my Instagram is baking content. Other bakers, micro bakeries, people who create beautiful cakes or cookies, recipe content. That is what I scroll through and where I take a lot of inspiration from. I also love going to other bakeries. First thing I check out when I go to a new city or move somewhere, and I want to see what's in the bakery and what they're making. But I think the only thing that I do not like is a thing that a lot of people do in the US that we would never do in Germany, which is inclusions in sourdough bread. Tell me in the comments, maybe you're crazy about it, maybe you love it when your sourdough bread is actually a chocolate, olive, I don't know, pumpernickel, banana bread. But we do not do that in Germany. We never put things, I don't know, like olives or chorizo or other kinds of sausages in our bread. That's very unusual to us, and I'm not a huge fan of it either. I only use organic and plant-derived colors when I paint my pies or cookies or breads. A lot of times I even make the dye myself out of vegetables or fruits because I know how much crap is in artificial dyes and I do not want anybody to eat that. And so many vegetables, so many fruits are so colorful, it's actually quite easy to dye things with it. You can even dye clothes with the dyes from vegetables, you know. My current obsession is mushrooms. I love anything mushrooms. I love marzipan mushrooms. I love hand-painted mushrooms, mushroom cookies, mushroom pies. Let me know in the comments if you are as crazy about mushrooms as I am. Funny thing is, I don't really like to eat the actual mushroom. I have a pretty strong allergy to lion's mane mushroom. That was a traumatic experience I had once when I found out about that. But I do love to paint mushrooms and use them as decorative items. My love for baked goods goes way back. I remember my parents had a holiday house in a rural area by a lake, and by car it would take like 15-20 minutes to get to the next grocery store or to go to the little town downtown. But every day I would walk 40 minutes by foot to go to the bakery and get one of my favorite baked items. I would either get a poppy seed twist, which I recently perfected to bake myself. I was so proud of myself. I made poppy seed twists and they were delicious. Or I would get something that we call a Nussecke, like a nut corner. So that's kind of a pastry that's made from all kinds of nuts and has chocolate corners. And that was also my dad's favorite pastry. So I'd walk 40 minutes, I would eat my pastry, and then I'd walk 40 minutes back. So I already did my workout and then I had my cake. And also I remember when my grandparents had birthday parties, they would always be huge birthday parties, or when they would celebrate their silver wedding anniversary, this wedding anniversary. So many people would come. They had a huge group of friends, and also they were very active in the church, so it was just like a huge crowd, and we would have buffets, and all I wanted to eat from that buffet was the different types of baguettes and breads that they would offer as actually just like a side snack, you know. But I remember that I would be excited. Oh my god, we're going to the buffet, there's gonna be so much bread. Like I told you before, I am very passionate about making things from scratch. So when I say making things from scratch, I mean pasta, I mean crackers, not only breads and pies. I like to make everything from scratch. So let me know in the comments if you want to see a video where I bake everything for the week, and if that's something that you guys are interested in and would like to see more of as well. I love sharing my love for baking, for making a micro bakery, art, design, everything that goes with starting a micro bakery and cooking from scratch. So if you are interested in that kind of content, then make sure to subscribe, leave me a comment, and tell me what you would like to see. If you have any questions, or if you're thinking about starting your own micro bakery, I would love to hear from you. I'm planning to be very active here on this channel and just take you guys with me in my life as a micro baker. So yeah, if you want to see more of that, hit the subscribe button.